There's a kind of love that doesn't flicker like a candle in the wind. It burns steady like an eternal flame, even when storms come. Today, we're diving into that rare kind of love, the one that doesn't just show up when skies are clear, but holds its ground when the clouds roll in and the lightning cracks. Because let's be real, anyone can stand beside you in the sunshine. But who's holding your hand in the storm? When a man truly, deeply loves you, it's not just something you see, it's something you feel in the marrow of your bones. And here's the thing, it's not only about what he does, it's about what he says. Words aren't just sounds tossed into the air. They're seeds. They plant ideas, they nurture trust, and they either grow something lasting or wither away into nothing. And when a man's love runs deep, his words aren't tossed around like leaves in the wind. No, they land heavy like raindrops that water the roots of your connection. Carl Jung once said, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." But here's the twist. When love is real, what he says lines up with what he does. His words aren't promises waiting to be broken. They're reflections of who he is becoming with you. Before we dive into the 7 things a man says when he loves you deeply, things that reveal his heart, his fears, his dreams, I ask you to take a moment. If this message stirs something in you, like and subscribe. Help us spread this light to others who need it. Because love like this, it's rare, and we all deserve to know what it looks like. Now, let's get into it. Number 1. His words bring clarity, not confusion. When a man loves you deeply, his words don't leave you spinning in circles. They anchor you. Think of it like standing on the shore during a foggy morning. You can't see far ahead, but then, out of the mist, a lighthouse beam cuts through. That's what his words feel like. They don't add to the fog. They shine right through it. This kind of love doesn't speak in riddles. You won't find yourself lying awake at night, replaying conversations, wondering, what did he really mean by that? His words are steady, simple, and sure. You don't have to be a detective to figure out where you stand with him. Carl Jung believed that the meeting of 2 personalities is like the contact of 2 chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But transformation doesn't happen in chaos. It happens when there's clarity. When his words are honest and clear, they create a space where both of you can grow, not stumble in the dark. You might ask, but what if he's just not good at expressing himself? Fair question. Not everyone's a poet. But love? Love teaches us how to speak in ways that matter. Even a man of few words finds a way to make sure those words bring peace, not doubt. If he says he'll be there, he is there. No excuses, no vanishing acts. His words aren't sugar on the surface. They're roots reaching deep into the ground. And here's the thing, ladies. Confusion is not love's language. If you're constantly decoding his texts, wondering if he's into you, that's your soul telling you something's off. Real love feels like a clear blue sky after the storm. You can breathe easy. So remember, when a man truly loves you, his words won't make you question yourself. They'll make you feel seen, heard, and safe. His voice becomes that lighthouse in the fog, guiding you, not losing you. Ready for more? Let's keep going. Number 2. He speaks with intention and consistency. When a man loves you deeply, his words aren't there to dress up empty space. They are bricks that build something solid, something lasting. He doesn't speak just to fill the silence or to keep you hooked with sweet nothings that drift away like smoke. No, his words carry weight because they come from a place of truth, not convenience. See, there's a world of difference between a man who talks to impress and a man who talks to express. One is performing, the other is revealing. The man who speaks to impress might light up the room for a moment, but like fireworks, it's over before you know it. Loud, flashy, but gone in a flash. On the other hand, a man who speaks to express his heart. His words sink in, like rain soaking deep into the soil, giving life to what matters. Carl Jung once said, The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And a man who has begun that journey doesn't use words as masks. He's not trying to be someone else for you. He's showing you exactly who he is, because real love demands realness. His words aren't crafted to manipulate your feelings. They're the natural language of his soul. You might wonder, but how can I tell the difference? Here's how. Listen for the follow-through. When he says, "I've got you," does he show up when you need him? When he says, "I'll take care of it," do you find peace knowing it's handled? His consistency is the proof. His actions and words match, day in and day out, not just when it's easy or when he's trying to win you over. And here's something to hold on to. Love without consistency is like a song without rhythm. It doesn't matter how sweet the melody is. If the beat is all over the place, you'll never feel steady. The man who loves you truly will speak with intention, and he'll back those words up over and over until you know in your bones that you can trust him. Let's keep going. There's more to uncover. Number 3. He owns his mistakes and protects his integrity. Let's talk about something real, consistency. Because love that flickers on and off like a faulty streetlight, that's not love, that's uncertainty. And uncertainty, my friend, is a heavy thing to carry. A man who deeply loves you won't have you riding emotional roller coasters, one day soaring high on his affection, the next plummeting into silence. That's not love. That's a guessing game where the only prize is confusion. Real love feels steady, like a river that keeps flowing even when the rain stops. You don't need to keep checking if it's still there. It's moving, constant, reliable. And a man who loves you like that, he doesn't leave you wondering. He offers reassurance like the sun rises each day, not because you asked for it, but because he wants you to know you're safe here, you're seen, you're valued. Carl Jung said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." And that kind of self-acceptance, it breeds integrity. A man with integrity doesn't dance around the truth. He knows that his words reflect his soul, and he wants that reflection to be clear. His word is his bond, not just to you, but to himself. And that matters. Now, you might be thinking, what about when he messes up? Because no one's perfect, right? Exactly. The man who loves you deeply isn't perfect, but he owns it. If he drops the ball, he doesn't point fingers, doesn't vanish behind excuses. He stands in that space, looks you in the eye and says, "I got it wrong." That right there, that's strength. Not the kind that flexes, but the kind that bends without breaking. He knows his mistakes don't define him, but how he handles them does. Think of it like a craftsman working on a piece of wood. If he sees a crack, he doesn't toss the whole thing out. He smooths it, fixes it, makes it stronger. That's what love with integrity looks like. He doesn't just say he'll change. He shows you. His actions again and again rise to meet his promises. So remember, a man's integrity is the backbone of his love. If he can own his flaws and still stand tall, that's a man who's worth standing beside. Let's keep peeling back these layers. There's more truth ahead. Number 4, he shares his vulnerability. There's a certain armor the world tells men to wear. Be strong, be silent. Don't let anyone see the cracks. From a young age, boys are taught to bottle it up, to walk it off, to never let the world catch a glimpse of what's really going on beneath the surface. Vulnerability? That's stamped as weakness. But here's the truth. They've got it all wrong. When a man deeply loves you, that armor starts to loosen. Slowly, piece by piece, he sets it down. Not because it's easy, but because love makes him brave. He begins to show you parts of himself that maybe even he hasn't fully looked at. The doubts, the fears, the wounds that never fully healed. This isn't just sharing stories. It's handing you the keys to the parts of his soul that have been locked away for years. Carl Jung spoke deeply of the shadow, the hidden parts of ourselves we're afraid to face. He said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." And that's exactly what happens when a man lets you into his vulnerability. He's not shining up his image to impress you. He's letting you see the darkness, the questions, the unfinished parts of him. And that, my friend, is where real intimacy lives. You might wonder, why is that such a big deal? Because for a man raised to believe emotions are dangerous, opening up feels like stepping off a cliff without knowing if there's ground beneath. When he says, "I feel safe telling you this," he's really saying, "I trust you to hold my heart in your hands." That's a sacred trust. That's the kind of connection where real love grows roots. Imagine a fortress with towering walls, built high to keep the world out. When a man loves you, he opens the gates. He lets you walk those inner halls where his fears live. And not because he has to, but because he wants you there. He wants you to see the man behind the mask. And that's not weakness. That's the purest form of strength. So, when he shares his struggles, when his voice trembles with things he's never said out loud, listen. Because in those moments, love is speaking a language few ever hear. Let's keep going. The truth keeps getting deeper. Number 5. He includes you in his future. When a man truly loves you, something subtle but powerful starts to shift. His words begin to stretch beyond today, beyond tomorrow. They reach into the future. And not just in the casual, "let's see what happens" kind of way. No. His language starts weaving you into the fabric of what's coming. His dreams, his plans, the vision he has for his life. You're right there in the middle of it. See, a man who's just passing time might talk about the weekend, maybe mention a concert or a vacation, but it stops there. It's surface level, safe, non-committal. You'll hear things like, "let's see where this goes," or "I'm just taking it day by day." And while that might feel okay in the moment, it leaves you floating without an anchor. But when a man loves you deeply, he speaks like a builder laying down the blueprint for a home. And in every sketch, every corner of that blueprint, you're there. He talks about when, not if. He says things like, "when we get our place," or "I can't wait for the day we start a family." These aren't just passing thoughts. They're glimpses into a heart that's making space for you, long term. Carl Jung once said, "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart." And that's the thing. When a man starts speaking of the future with you in it, it means he's looked into his heart and found you there. His plans aren't just about him anymore. They're about you together. You might wonder, is he just saying these things to keep me around? Here's how you'll know. Those words come with action. He starts discussing real things: money, where to live, how to build a life, not just in the abstract, but with both of you at the center of it. The conversations might shift to planning that trip you've always talked about, figuring out how to balance careers, or even mapping out dreams neither of you dared to speak aloud before. It's like planting a tree together. At first, it's just an idea, a seed. But once you plant it, nurture it, you both know it's going to grow into something strong, lasting. That's what these future-focused words are. They're the roots of something bigger. So when a man starts weaving you into his future, believe him. He's showing you the direction his heart is heading, and he wants you walking beside him. Let's keep digging. We're not done yet. Number 6. He becomes your biggest supporter. When a man deeply loves you, he doesn't just stand beside you. He stands behind you, lifting you higher when you can't see the view for yourself. His words become the wind at your back, the steady push that reminds you of who you are when doubt tries to pull you under. He's not just a silent witness to your life. He's your loudest cheerleader, your fiercest believer. See, real love doesn't sit quietly on the sidelines clapping politely. No, it shows up. It gets loud. It pushes you forward, even when you feel stuck. A man who truly loves you sees not only who you are today, but who you can become. And when life throws its weight on your shoulders, when you're ready to fold, when you question your worth, his voice is the one cutting through the noise, saying, "You've got this. I believe in you." Carl Jung spoke of the need for wholeness, saying, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." And that journey toward wholeness, it's not a solo trek. The man who loves you deeply becomes a mirror, reflecting back all the strength, brilliance, and potential you sometimes forget you carry. His love doesn't just admire you from a distance, it believes in you, fiercely and consistently. You might wonder, is this just sweet talk? Is he just trying to make me feel better? No, this is deeper. His encouragement isn't about soothing your doubts for a moment. It's about empowering you to rise above them for good. He doesn't let you sit in your fear too long. He'll sit down with you, help you map out a plan, walk through the fire beside you, reminding you every step of the way. You are capable of this. You were made for this. Picture a garden, you, the roots, growing, stretching. And him? He's the sunlight and rain, nurturing you, but never trying to change who you are at your core. He knows you're already enough, but he wants to see you bloom. A man who loves you deeply will never make you feel small. He knows your light, and he makes sure you remember it, even when the world tries to dim it. That's love in action. Let's keep going. The journey's not over yet. Number 7. He says, "I'm here for you," and means it. There are few phrases more powerful than "I'm here for you." Simple words, sure, but when spoken from the heart, they carry the weight of mountains. And when a man deeply loves you, those words aren't just lip service. They're a promise, a declaration. They become a shelter when life's storms rage and everything feels like it's falling apart. Life, as we all know, is messy. It's full of twists and turns we never see coming. There will be days when you feel like you're holding the world together with shaking hands, when everything seems to unravel at once. And here's the thing. Anyone can stand beside you when the sun is shining. But when the sky darkens, when the rain starts falling hard, that's when the truth shows up. A man who's only in it for convenience, for the good times, he's gone when the first crack of thunder hits. But a man who truly loves you, he leans in, he shows up, again and again. Not just when it's comfortable, but when you need him most. His love doesn't retreat when life gets hard. It rises to meet the moment. Carl Jung reminds us, the shoe that fits one person pinches another. There is no recipe for living that suits all cases. And love is the same. It's not about a perfect formula. It's about presence, adaptability, being there in whatever way you need. Sometimes that means listening as you let the weight of the world spill out of you. Sometimes it's offering a solution. Other times, it's just holding you, saying nothing at all, but letting you know, "I'm not going anywhere." His words and his presence wrap around you like a warm blanket on a cold night. They remind you that you're not alone. And here's the beautiful part. Love isn't proven in the easy, Instagram-worthy moments. No, it's proven in the trenches, in the hard talks, the broken places, the moments when it would be easier to walk away. But he doesn't. So when he says, "I'm here for you," and then shows up again and again, that's love's truest voice. A love that holds steady through the storms, not just the sunny days. And that, ladies, is what it means when a man loves you deeply. Number 8. He says, "I appreciate you." When a man deeply loves you, he doesn't just see you, he sees into you. He notices the small things, the quiet efforts, the love you pour out in the everyday moments, and he makes sure you know they aren't invisible. When he says, "I appreciate you," it's more than polite words. It's him acknowledging your worth, your presence, your heart. It's easy to get lost in routine, to feel like what you do goes unnoticed. But a man who truly loves you doesn't let that happen. He makes space to recognize you, not just for the big gestures, but for the way you show up, day after day. Maybe it's the way you listen, the way you support his dreams, or simply how you love him in ways no one else ever has. Carl Jung once said, "As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being." And that's what appreciation does. It lights up the space between two souls. A man who loves you deeply reflects that light back to you, making sure you always feel seen, valued, and cherished. Because love without appreciation, that's just existence. So, as we've uncovered these powerful truths, remember this: when a man truly loves you, his words aren't just sounds, they're promises. They offer clarity, consistency, vulnerability, and support. They paint a future and remind you of your worth. If this spoke to your heart, if you felt seen or empowered, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe for more insights like these, and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Together, let's spread this message of deep, authentic love to those who need it most. Stay strong, stay loved, and I'll see you next time.